Hey boys and girls, I've got an aeroplane here for you to make if you're at home and you're bored and you're looking for something interesting to do for your mind and your hands, and also an excuse to go outside for a little while. This is the plane that we're going to be making. It's a stunt plane. We'll test it out later, but should be able to do some tricks, and depending on how you throw it. It's a pretty advanced plane, so this is mainly for our older kids, but if you are younger but you're very good at folding and following instructions, you should be able to handle this as well. So that's what it looks like. Got a couple that I made earlier. All you're going to need for this plane is one sheet of A4 paper. So if you've got a sheet of A4 paper, you're ready to go. First step is have the bit of paper in the portrait position in front of you. Take the top left corner and we'll bring it all the way down here to match these two edges up. When we get those edges matched up, we need to push it out and do a nice sharp crease. It's the most important thing when making this plane, is that all our creases are sharp and all our lines are matched up. The next thing we'll do is bring this top corner down to here, and we're making it the shape of a house. So once again, I'll make sure my edges are lined up and I'm doing a nice sharp crease. So now it looks like a house. On the house we have this section here that can flap up. I want to imagine a line going down the center of the roof of the house there, and we're going to fold it across and match up these 2 points here and these lines here, and then should have a line down the center of the house, and we'll put another crease there. So now we have a house shape with a line down the middle, and we have this extra flap on the side. Now this next step is the trickiest part, so you might need to rewind this and watch it a couple of times to get it right. So what we do is we gently open it up without disturbing the creases, and you can see when you open it up that it's sort of like indented in the middle. On the back, I'll turn it around and show you. I'm going to put my finger on the pointy bit at the back, and then what I do is I push on that and it pops inside out. And then you can see, once it's popped inside out, you can see there's a line that goes from there and it stops. What I want to do is continue that crease all the way to the other side without disturbing the other creases. So you can see that this is a little bit tricky. There we go. And you can see that now that crease goes all the way to the other side, and I haven't disturbed these creases. Once I've done that, I can put my finger in the middle again and pop it back to how it was to start with. And then that's what it looks like. So it doesn't look much like a plane yet, but we're getting closer. Alright, so the next thing you need to do, these creases that we just made, put our fingers on here, and if we gently bring them together and then lower them down, we can see we've got the shape of our house again. And I'll just check those creases to make sure they're tight. But this time we've got a big square sticking up out of the middle of the roof. What I want to do next is open that square up and then flatten it out so that it goes, and careful with make sure we've got nice sharp creases again, and flatten it out so that it acts as, looks like another roof sitting on top. So we've got, now it looks like where we started from, but now we have the roof of our house and another two flaps sitting on top of that. All right, if you've made it that far, you're very advanced, because this is a tricky plane. The next thing we want to do is fold one of these corners of our top roof, not the bottom one, up so it meets the peak, making sure all our lines match up and our creases are sharp. And then another corner on the other side, up so it meets the peak. You'll notice I've just left a little bit of a gap in the middle. That'll help us fold our plane in half later on. So now we have a kind of like a diamond shape on the roof of our house. We want to turn this diamond shape next into a kite shape. We do it by folding this first one across like that. Oops, it's not very straight. And our second one will do the same. And now we have a house shape with what looks like a kite sitting on the top. Now this part is going to be very important in our plane because it creates the weight in the nose of our plane, and it's going to help our plane do its stunts later on. Alright, in this kite we just need to fold down the top of that kite like so. Make a nice blunt end. There we go. And then the next thing, we're getting close to having it's going to start looking like a plane very soon. I want you to imagine a line right down the center. That's where we're going to fold. Fold it exactly in half, but we need to make sure these match up because they're going to be our wings and we want them to be the right length. Once we've pressed that down hard, it's nice and thick, and then do a nice sharp crease. So now that's what it looks like. Then if you feel that the thick paper inside there, you can feel underneath there, then this is all thin and this is quite thick. From the top of the thick part, I want you to imagine a line that goes parallel right across there, and that's where we're going to fold down our first wing. We're going to try and keep that straight. Remember, don't fold both down, we're just doing one wing. Then we're going to turn it over and fold down the other wing so that it matches exactly with the first wing. So they're the same size. Alright, it's getting closer to a plane now. Alright, just one wing at a time. Be careful you're not folding two wings. With this first wing, I want you to just fold it in half, bring it back up to this line, make the lines match, and a sharp crease. Then watch carefully how I do this. Just that one single sheet, I want you to fold it in half again and put a sharp crease. And then now it's only very little, but I want you to, this is a little bit tricky, I want you to fold it in half again, just a single piece, fold it in half again. So it looks like that. Then turn it over, and we'll do the same with the other side. So we fold it in half, make these lines match. Then we, just a single sheet, not the whole thing, single sheet. We fold it in half again. And then we fold it in half again. And now, it just looks like, it doesn't look very interesting yet, but what I want you to do after you've done that is hang on to the thick bit at the front, and then you can lift the wings up and open them up like that. And that, boys and girls, is your stunt plane ready to fly. But there you go, boys and girls, that's our stunt plane, and we'll go outside and test them and see how they fly. There's a couple of ways to throw the plane. When we have it opened up like that, you'll see I'm just going to lightly pinch it just at the end of the thick part down the bottom, and when I throw, I'm going to throw very lightly. There's two ways you can do it. You can throw with the wind at your back, or you can throw it into the wind. You can throw it facing down, or you can throw it facing up, and we'll see what happens with each one. We'll see, and every plane will do different tricks, so it's always good to make lots and lots of copies of the same plane. Here we go.
There you go. It's going around.
All the way back to me if I can replicate that trick. No, it's going to do something different this time. Alright. Oops. That one's done a loop-the-loop. And going over to the stairs.